All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes,
if you're
girl.
watching on the video, we have our first guest for season 4.
Before we introduce her, it's just, if you really rock with us, she has opened our seasons.
Except for last season.
Except for last season. She opened season 2. She opened season 1. She's been rocking with us since the very beginning.
First episode.
Since we was on Windy Hill.
Yes. Trapping out of Cobb County.
And she said trapping out of Cobb County.
Right.
And don't say that too loud.
Right. Not trapping
We
for
did
real,
not
guys.
got time.
Not for
But
real.
shout out to this queen Deniqua in the
Yes.
building.
Ladies, I'm
Welcome
so happy
back,
to be
girl.
here. And I love the new setup. I love it. I love it. I love
Thank
the
you.
roundtable effect. I was just telling them offline, of course, that I love how it's the roundtable effect because I know that they like to interact with all their guests, but they like to be able to look at each other too throughout the interviews. And so this truly, this is pretty dope. Shout out to the people that put this together.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a plug.
God.
Yeah.
It was God.
Yes. And the
Won't he
plug,
do it?
yep.
So you've been up to a lot of big things since
Busy,
we
busy,
last
busy.
saw you last year. So let's start from the top. R&B Sweets. We had a giveaway last season to pop it
Yes.
off. It's now trademarked.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
That's
What's that
Yes.
process?
Okay, so as smart as I am, college educated and all,
Amen.
that paperwork, because some of the verbiage,
They
you
say
know,
that it's very intimidating.
yeah, it's like, I'm like, what in the world is what are they talking about? I was like, forget it. So I contacted my lawyer. Shout out to John Duhardy. I said, look, bro, I don't know what I'm doing. Could you go ahead and file this for me? Just help me out. Just tell me what I need to know. And my lawyer got right on it. And he told me, he was like, I'm glad you called because oftentimes people, they'll do it and then they'll get declined for the trademarks because they really don't know what they're signing, don't know what they're doing. So they're not fully signing the sheets all the way or whatever the case might be. So yeah, the process was simple. I called my lawyer.
Period.
I know
Get you
that's
one
right.
on payroll. So what's going to be different with the R&B snacks? I know you had the caramel popcorn and some other little treats.
Which was so good.
I had the
Pretzels.
caramel popcorn. That's coming back, of course.
Of course. Oh, the
And
pretzels, yes.
Yes, I
big
had the
pretzels.
white chocolate pretzels with the milk chocolate pretzels. I plan to do infused, CBD infused items, but those are not
Yes.
coming until late next year or early 2023 because I need time to get it right and I have to get my license, of course. And with
Right.
Georgia, they're only giving it to limited people, So pray for me. If I don't get it, that's okay. The sweets are still out there. What I did add to the R&B sweets collection, because, I had the Swirl Pops, but I added the Peasy Bites. My brother used to like the chocolate peanut butter Reese's. So I just, created that snack in remembrance of him, because he passed away in 2017. And he was the one that told me a day before he got shot up and killed, rest his soul. He said, look, girl, if you don't stop recording all this music in these studios and just go ahead and release something, let people hear what you got to offer,
Yeah.
He died the next day.
Wow.
April 9th of 2017. I released my first project in May of 2017 because I had already had music. I was just recording for myself, as my old producer, shout out to Intone, would say. You recording music for yourself.
We was talking about that on another interview. Like, people just go to the studio and
To do
record
it.
and just listen to it
Yeah.
on their own time.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's glad to know that that's where a source of your inspiration comes from.
And
Till
you
this
are
day,
certainly
right?
doing it.
Yes. To this day, I'm always trying to make him proud. I'm like, look, what would my brother do? Or what would he be expecting me to do? So I try to walk with that,
That's important.
Yes, and you are definitely doing it. Okay, the interview. Let me just
Get in.
the
to it.
interview in Kenya at 3:00 in the morning. Everybody not doing it.
Right.
I'm crazy.
Let me know for those, because we talked about it off the air, but for our listeners, you are coming in. It's already been a busy day for you recording wise.
Yeah.
So what did you have going on this morning specifically for our listeners?
Literally, I got up at 2 a.m. this morning. I don't even think I laid my wig right. I didn't care. I didn't want to be late for the Skype. I was like,
Right.
forget this. I'm just going to put this thing on and we're going to make this yellow thing work. Shout out to my cousin Hannah for making it. But I was up. I had the interview at 3 a.m. this morning with Kenya, Africa, and which was very fun for me. Shout out to Bansi and Tony Muigi for even, inviting me on their show because it was on live TV. Like, people in Kenya,
It
all
looks
throughout
good.
Africa,
Yes.
and London, they were, tuned in. They can
Yes.
see it. It's a
Wow.
real TV production.
Wow.
It's a real station. It's not
Talk about
just-
reach.
Yeah, it's not just no, small. No,
That's
they got a new check on Facebook. Y'all better
Right.
ask them something.
The international queen,
Queen
Deniqua.
Deniqua. Do
Please
not
get
play
it
with
right,
her.
okay?
Yes. But I see on your spare time, you and your husband have been acting the fool, child, with this
With the YouTube
channel.
series.
What's going on? How did y'all even find the time to start being crazy?
I saw you kind of inching towards this, though. You've been giving us your comedic side on Instagram for some time now.
yes, the
you know,
TikToks.
Yeah, and the
I'm gonna start my
TikTok.
diet tomorrow.
Right.
I'm
How's the
always
diet going,
saying
girl?
that my diet going terrible. I've been trying to start a diet for the past 3 years, man. I'm like,
I'm gonna
look,
start my
man,
diet tomorrow. It's
yeah,
okay.
I just can't do it. I'm gonna start my diet after this. I just can't do it. But yeah, Hustle Crime Unit is a project that I collabed with my husband on. Shout out. His name is John, but everybody on there that knows him in the comedy world calls him Super Dad Comedy. So it's Super Dad _ comedy. Make sure you follow him, show him a little bit of love. We're actually dropping another episode. Actually, it dropped at 12 noon
All
of
right.
Hustle Crime Unit.
See, she's
Hello, busy.
when the checks are working,
Okay.
when the jobs are working,
When the
you
YouTube
ain't
monetized.
dance.
I have never, and then you be out here in the streets because I didn't send you out at a few parties and stuff myself. Deniqua, hats off, Queen. 'Cause-
Yes.
Yeah, because I just came from dropping off bounce houses.
Right.
Like literally, I got done with the interviews around about 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and I said, I'm finna lay back down. So I took all my makeup off and I laid down. I woke up at 7:15 and we were in the first yard by 8:15 dropping off. We dropped off 5 units in between 8:30 and 10:15 because soon as I got back home, I ran out of the truck, took a bath, put on so-called makeup. That's why I'm covering my eyes, by the way, because I don't have no makeup on my eyes, y'all.
You look
Don't tell
good.
nobody
But
that.
I'm
Don't tell
here.
nobody
You
that.
look blessed.
Look, Deniqua, I have to ask you because we just had a conversation about this in the office about, building and maintaining that family legacy. You move so fast. And I know you. I know that you are, equally calculated and thoughtful and intentional in planning. But in all of what you're doing, and especially, with your husband and his platform as well, do you ever think about, like, this is me doing this because this is the legacy that I'm building for my
Yes.
kids?
Yes, especially our business.
JJ's, which
Yes,
is after your son.
Yeah, JJ's Toys and More, and which is actually named after my 11-year-old son. Shout out to John Jr. He got mad when he was 5 years old. The people was taking the bounce house. Long story short, we said we'll buy some when we realized how much it was going to cost because we thought we can just go to, what is it,
Sam's or
Target or
something. Yeah.
Sam's.
Yeah.
They was like $2,000. I said, look, well, we're going to go ahead and invest 10 grand and get 3 units. And that's how we started in 2015.
Wow.
We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary December 15th of last year. We went to the cabins as a family. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
beautiful.
Just
I love
for a
that.
week to enjoy ourselves.
Yes.
But for them to really see it, like, you have him working out there with you.
Yes. He does a lot of the promo. My daughter does the promo. My
Good.
4-year-old King, he'll grab his shoes and he'll be like, Mom, I go to work. I go to
Love
work,
it.
Mom. He'll see us running. He'll be like, I go to work. He brings his shoes. He be ready.
Cute.
And he be out there trying to straighten up the tarp, whatever it takes. The goal is definitely to build a legacy for our kids and our grandkids and our
Yeah.
great grandkids. We want them to
Yes.
have something. And nobody believes in our community about trust funds
Let's talk about
and
it.
ROAs. And I need for y'all to start considering those things for your legacy.
We with
Because
you.
believe it or not, a house that you own for over 30 to 40 years, when you pass, the state has every right, if they
To
want, to
snatch it
take it
back.
away.
Yes.
That's right.
But if you have it in your trust that it goes to your kids or your cousin or whoever you want to give it to, they have to, by law, give it to them. Get a lawyer, get yourself a goodwill, go ahead and invest in the ROAs and get yourself a trust fund. Hello.
That's right.
And
You better be preaching.
even in writing a will down, like people don't want to think about preparation for those types of things.
Yep.
My mother-in-law talk about it with us all the time.
Yeah.
I got you in my will. Yeah, the kids gonna get this much. I don't want nobody fighting. She reminds us over.
Yeah.
And we hate to have the conversation with you, Joyce Abel, okay?
Okay.
But you just will not stop. We love you, but we want you to be here as long as you can be here. We love
Yes,
you.
we're not trying to talk about that right now. So let me ask you, Deniqua. let me ask you this question. For all women or just all couples in general who are interested in going into different projects with their spouses, what advice would you give them? Because everybody ain't able to work.
That's a great
together.
question.
That's right.
Look, man, my husband be like, we don't spend enough time. We don't talk enough. I'm like, honey, we are on the road all day, every day talking. If we're not talking about the business, we talking about the kids, or we talking about this house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just have patience with your partner.
Yeah.
Us women, we tend to be like, da, 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 da.
Yep.
But the men, they're like slowing it down And sometimes you have to be willing to do that. Slow it down. And you're going to be irritated at times because he ain't going to lay the tarp right, or he's going to forget one of the states. So whatever the case might be, if I were you, I would just cuss him out and keep it moving. He can't say nothing back because the client right there. Cuss him out with your eyes, not in person.
Oh, that's right. Yes, for sure.
Respect is always first. You always lead with respect. I think the leading with respect works better. Like you get more.
You get more flies when you lay it down with honey.
Okay. I definitely want to ask you a question, Deniqua. Are you the first person to like go down this journey in your family, or do you have other people in your family that are entrepreneurs as well?
My Uncle Mike, shout out to my Uncle Mike, he just had triple bypass surgery. That's why I'm going home to Florida to visit him. But him and my Aunt Lassie, they owned the ice cream shop. And I used to work in it when I was in high school. My dad passed away and I was living with them because I didn't, my mom died when I was 8, so I didn't have nobody. And my Uncle Mike, he grabbed me up and he looked out for me, and I stayed with them and I worked in their ice cream shop.
Wow.
So I watched how everything, how they did things. I watched how they counted their books, the inventory, how often, they would need to buy certain ice creams, the logistics of business, things that people don't like to talk about or get into because it becomes just too much. But I was willing to learn. I wanted to learn. And then with my husband having a military background and him being in logistics, it just made the transition so easy.
Yeah.
Yes. And speaking of Florida, you are the new ambassador of a new energy drink.
Yes. Help Energy Drink. Shout out to Help Energy Drink. Oh, my God. Listen, I found them because they were actually in a text group, that I'm a part of.
Okay.
And I was like, man, when I saw that they were from Davie, Florida, I was like, man, y'all from down the street. I'm from Hollywood, Florida. I was like, buddy, send me some of your drinks. I'm finna tell everybody about it. So when he saw how good I was doing as far as just pushing the brand, he was like, man, look, man, we just gonna keep sending you stuff. We gonna look out for you. We got you. He was like, let's do this. Let's make you an ambassador. So shout out to them because they showing out on me too. I appreciate the love.
What's the best flavor? What's the best flavor?
The pineapple guava.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It is delicious. Oh my God. I was in love with the lemon because I like stuff that's a little sour and tart too.
Yeah.
Because it tastes like a Sprite.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But when I don't know, it's like after a while I kept drinking the pineapple guava and I'm like, oh yeah, wait a minute, this one is it.
Yeah, so
I would have brought y'all some, but I ran out. I've been drinking it. For real.
Where can we find some?
You can find them at Help Energy on IG. And their link right there for their website is in the bio.
Got you. Okay, so we have definitely been doing all these great things in the streets. We got the business. We got the YouTube. What's going on with the music?
Yes.
Man, look, I just dropped a single with my homegirl, Maximiliano, Killer Swag, in which, I'm a singer, songwriter. We all know this.
Yes.
But I believe in branching into different types of genres of music because there's an audience for every genre, right?
Right.
Yes.
And I want to touch every audience. I don't care if I'm not the best rapper. That's not my goal.
Right.
My goal is for you to just know that I am there in that genre where you thought that I couldn't get.
That's
You
right.
thought I
That's
couldn't
right.
get there,
There's
but
no
I'm
limits.
there. So Killer Swag is a fun song. And also I needed to state my point on something. And I believe I did that. I believe the message was received. Or at least heard.
Oh, we gonna drop that here for sure.
Yes, we are going to drop it.
Are you still managing?
I'm managing myself.
Right,
Yeah, but
right.
shout out to B Squared Management because they've been helping me out a lot. Like, they're not a physical manager to where you have someone that's with you day to day, but I do pay for their services monthly. B Squared Management, they're based out of Tennessee, and it's all women owned. So it's owned by women, operated by women, and they've hooked me up. I'm literally going to be on the TED show via Skype or Zoom next Saturday from my home. Like, they've been booking me for stuff too and helping out. But like
That
I
is
say, I
dope.
pay them
All
like
women, too.
monthly, and they put me on a couple playlists. Like, they really showing out. I was like, y'all might have me for a while. So I don't have a full manager to where I have someone physically talking for myself, but I do have people that are out there working and getting me gigs and locking on stuff. So yeah, they do talk for me in those instances. But around here in Atlanta is Deniqua talking for Deniqua.
And that's so. Do you find that more beneficial now from past situations that you have been in? Like,
To be honest with you, yes, because honestly, whenever they're dealing with people that are not in this state or whatever the case might be, when they state what the fee is like it's like a hierarchy. The person is like, okay, well, this is her fee. We got to pay it. You get what I'm saying? Rather
Right.
than when I'm here and I'm talking and people want to argue with you about what your worth is, you know?
Right.
When
Yeah.
everybody is worth so much more than they think that they are, you know?
Right.
And as an artist, if I got to put money into my artistry, if you want me to be somewhere, it only makes sense for you to pay me to be there or just show me some kind of love. You can't pay me like, let's work on a way to where we both winning, you know?
Yeah.
But it'd be hard for people to just understand it. I'm pretty sure y'all go through that with this
Yes.
platform.
Yes,
With
girl.
this platform, I'm not listen. And we vowed that we was not gonna talk about like supporting and stuff like that, but more so on a different option of showing the worth. Like
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
it's when you go to new heights, you
Yeah.
gotta do new things.
You gotta
Yes.
pay
to
to
play.
play.
That is what it
Exactly,
is. And you
exactly.
come, you see what's going on, you see
Yep.
what you get.
Yeah.
And even for us, we might feel like we cutting ourselves short.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you just gotta start where you can. But for you to have that representation to where you don't have to do it yourself, they're getting you these gigs
Right.
that you can't even get.
You see
know?
the return on your
Exactly, 'cause-
investment for sure with them.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Already I've seen it. And literally I just started this month and already I've exceeded
placed,
what I put
gotten
in.
placed.
So I'm very grateful.
Mm.
Awesome.
Shout out for executing at the next level,
Yes.
Yeah,
because everything can't go. You got to keep pushing.
this is true.
Now, you got more music on the way, and you have music coming out with your family.
Yes, the song "The Mud."
Mm-hmm.
We'll be shooting the video in September back home. I've already been reaching out to my cousins and stuff. I told my auntie, look, we done sold my grandma's house in Daniel, so I got to use your house in Hollywood. She's like, y'all better not break. Now, Auntie Dickie, we got this. Look,
Okay.
we're going to do some barbecue. We're going to have a good time. Hey, look, she going to call me after this because my cousin Taffy on here. I love you. But listen, the song is about, my life, losing both parents at a very young age.
Yeah, that's
Being homeless, living literally with my ex-boyfriend. Shout out to Poppy, his sister Nikki. Shout out to Mama Brenda because they took me in
Right.
when I didn't have nowhere else to go before my uncle decided to let me in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have a story to tell. I want people to hear it because oftentimes they see you so put together online
Yeah.
and they just swear to God that they know you. Like my son Color say, go download it if you can. Like, you don't know what I had to do to get to the spot that I'm at in my life, and it took so much.
Yeah.
I'm a food stamp baby. People don't know that. They be like, well, I thought you just grew up at the... I don't know what you thought that for.
Right.
right.
And that's funny because we've never really heard your story like
Yeah,
that
as
either.
much as
It's
we've
always just
talked,
the
right.
songwriting, what we working on, what we doing. We never really sat back and said, okay, so
Tell me about
what really
what-
happened? How we got here?
Who
you
are
know?
the makings? What are the makings of Deniqua? But as you're exposing these layers to us,
We'll get into it as we
Yeah.
get deep. When you ready for your Oprah moment,
right.
I'm going to come here for my Oprah moment.
I'm gonna executive produce it on some Carlos King stuff.
Come
I'm gonna
on.
have you and Brittany set up real perched up.
With a nice little setting,
You know what I'm
nice to
saying?
drink on and sip
Don't
on.
even worry.
That's
It's
what
gonna
I
be
need.
lit.
Okay, we
Yes.
going to set that up. I need that because I feel like people do need to know,
Yeah,
my story because
that's why you have this platform. That's why God has been able to give you so many ways to reach in different ways. But now the story has to be told.
Yes, I agree because one YouTuber told me straight up, he was like, look, I thought that you were uppity. And then after a while, when I got to know you, I found that you weren't. I was like, oh my God, I've never heard that before.
Me
But
neither.
I don't want nobody
Right.
else to feel that way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
maybe I need to start being more open. I believe in just keeping some things private because if you expose too much of
much.
yourself, then
Yes.
people
Yeah.
get the
Yes.
judging.
Yes.
And then they
Right.
swear to God they know you when there's still other things that they don't know, but they just go judging you based off what they
What
do
you-
know and
yeah.
or what you give out. And I don't got time for that because I be done cuss your behind out. I ain't that nice.
Period. Period.
I ain't that
I,
nice.
I love Jesus, but I cuss a little.
I
I'm
know.
not good.
That's right. That
But
is
the
definitely-
transparency is definitely appreciated.
Thank you.
And I feel like most times it's well respected after you show that what you've gone through and how you
Yeah.
made it through, and nobody even knew that was what you
Yes.
were going through.
Yes.
Yes.
So versus, okay, this is what's going on right now, and now everybody opinions
Tuned
is
in
in
and
your
watch-
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So once you go through it and you ready to package it up and let everybody know, you know where to come.
I'm
Call
coming
us
here. I
right.
got y'all. I love it.
Yes, ma'am. So Deniqua, we love you and we thank you for coming through.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes.
for having me.
You really just, you don't even know. Like
setting
I
the
was not
energy
even
off
trying
at the
to. I
top
was
for
not
us.
trying to be here, But the energy is really bringing me back. We were on a little break. You got to give yourself a break.
Yeah.
We we're gonna get into that in the next segment, but it's just I appreciate you for being here. You
Thank
don't
you.
know what this interview has done for me today.
Well,
Mhm.
thank you so
Real.
much for having me. That's why I reached out. Like, look, sis, I ain't seen
It's
y'all in a while. I
time.
need
It's
to see
been a
y'all, but
minute.
also, and I believe in paying a fee for services rendered. Please, people,
Yes.
don't shortchange nobody you know, and even people that you don't know.
Don't
But if
know.
you see them out here grinding and working and progressing, show love,
Make
and you
that a
show
soundbite.
love by paying it forward. And that is on period. If I can leave you with anything today, I want to leave you with just this. God loves you, but I love you too. But I'm going to need you to pay your due. You understand?
Yes.
Grandma style.
Yes.
Please tell our listeners where they can follow you. Drop the YouTube, the Instagram, all of it.
And the song.
Okay. Killer Swag is available on my YouTube. The official video is out. So make sure y'all go over there and check it. The link is in my Instagram bio. You can follow me on Instagram at Deniqua. That's DENEQUIA. Or if you really truly want to find me, you're like, look, I don't know what that girl, she just said some name and I can't call it. Don't worry about that. Hashtag BossLady365 and I will come right up because it is my hashtag.
Yes.
And you want to head on over to my website. Right now, I'm soft selling the R&B suites. So that's www.deniqua.com. Again, like I said, hashtag BossLady365 in Facebook and in IG, and it'll come right up. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank
girl.
you so much. We're going to get into Killer Swag, and we're going to be right back.